depending on where you're watching, welcome to another edition of Outdoor Crime Time with DutyRon, a retired NYPD detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. If you like all things true crime from a police perspective, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you'll get all things DutyRon when I go live or when I upload another video. Guys, today I come to you live from my backyard. I'm hoping the audio and video are good. Let me know in the comments by pressing a 1 if the audio is good. Let me know if it's a number 2, if I need to pump up the volume, dance. I won't dance, but I will pump it up if I need to. All right, we got a couple of number 1s coming in. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rochelle, Raven, Janine, Jerry, thank you, Shannon, good to see you. Hello. Hi, wise old lady, happy Sunday morning. Volume is good. Thank you, Dawn Marie. I want to say a special thank you to my channel members, my moderators, and all the Patreon supporters, and everyone who subscribes and positively interacts. Hello, Cup of Joe, good to see you. Kernisha Foot, thank you for joining. Hello, Candy. Hi, Sheila. Brenda, Janelle, great to see you. Stephanie, all of my friends are piling in. Great to see you on this Sunday morning here in New York City. So I've got a lot of things to talk about with you guys. There's been so much going on, not so much in the developments of Orrin and Orson West. The case is, things have been quiet, but sometimes, as we know, the quiet is sometimes the calm before the storm, so to speak. We are all anticipating the day. Thank you, Miss Shades, for becoming a channel member. We all long for the day that the long arm of the law comes out and brings justice for our boys, Orrin and Orson West, over in Bakersfield. So DutyRon has broke the cuffs out. Once again, the Smith & Wessons are in the building, and we need to have we need closure for the family. Great to see you, Lieutenant Pranzo. Thank you for joining. Guys, just before we get into it, I want to show you I have a special guest here with me. Popeye, the African Gray, is here. Popeye, you want to say hello to everybody? There he is, Popeye. He is hanging out, just so you know. Popeye, the African Gray, is outdoors with DutyRon. So there is my bird. He is 33 years young, and he is in the building with us. All right, let's talk quickly about poor 2-year-old baby, Amari Nicholson. Las Vegas, Nevada PD was on the case very quickly. They were suspect of the boyfriend. I don't even want to give him street credit, but when we saw the interview with the baby's mother and her boyfriend, I right away, and I'm not just saying this because he got arrested, I right away knew, and I think all of you web sleuths and true crime enthusiasts knew right away, there was something dirty, there was something not right about that conversation that they had. The whole thought of somebody was going to come by. She never said somebody was going to come by to pick up a kid. She and he were not jiving in the news stories. I will do a full live stream on the two of them. And I tell you right now, I'm 50-50 on whether she was innocent in all of this as well. But again, we have the perpetrator in custody. He admitted to doing what he did to this poor, defenseless, young, adorable, that kid was a beautiful, adorable, happy, smiley, happy-go-lucky kid. We come to find out after the fact that CPS was called last year that the grandparents, the grandmother never trusted the boyfriend. It makes me think all of the more reason, why does the baby's mother leave for numerous days and leaves her 2-year-old child with somebody who is not to be trusted. All of these things are something that law enforcement and the investigators have to figure out. So I have a small clip of audio that I want to play for you guys. I want you guys to listen to it because it talks about CPS. And CPS is, at the end of the day, very, very broken system that we have. This is a thing I need to speak about more, and I need to speak about it more often. I need to get some experts to come in with me, and I will do that. I've been working very hard from behind the scenes. Hello, Cleta from Idaho. Good to see you. You know, again, that whole story that they put out on social media and in the news was suspect. I watched quite a bit of it, and I'm going to go over some of those statements with my FBI friend Michael De La Pena, and Michael is going to come back and we're going to talk about it. But I want you to listen to a little bit of clip of audio that I have. It's only about 2 minutes. But I'm going to play this piece. This is about this case.
Now charged with first-degree murder. Continue our coverage here at 5. The I-Team's Vanessa Murphy. And Vanessa, there were concerns about his safety. Even his grandmother alluded to it.
This is about CPS.
That's right, Denise. We've learned there may have been warning signs that Amari Nicholson was in danger. Sources tell me within the past year there was at least one report made to Child Protective Services alleging abuse, and the agency looked into the allegation but closed the case without taking further action. I reached out to CPS.
How do you close a case without taking further action? This reminds me of Thomas Valva over here in Long Island, which this trial should be commencing shortly. There was over 30 some odd calls to CPS, and they never, ever opened an investigation. They closed all of those cases. How does that happen? This boy winds up frozen inside a garage and died from hypothermia. Just crazy. Let's listen to this.
The spokesman says state law prohibits them from discussing specific individuals. As we first reported, now Terrell Rhodes is in jail, accused of killing the child.
Do you think if CPS had
This is the grandmother.
investigated more after these calls you're saying the family made, do you think Amari would be safe right now?
Yes, ma'am. He'd be just fine.
Carrie Howard is Amari Nicholson's maternal grandmother. On Monday, she told the I-Team loved ones had been concerned about the safety of the 2-year-old child since his mother started dating Terrell Rhodes last year. On Tuesday, sources told the I-Team Rhodes confessed to killing Amari.
Are you Mr. Rhodes?
The 27-year-old man appeared in court for a murder charge Wednesday.
We would note that the defendant lied for approximately 1 week regarding covering up the murder that he committed against this child.
On May 7th, Amari's mother, Taylor Nicholson, and Rhodes talked with 8 News Now's Joe Moeller. Rhodes was watching Amari while his mom was out of town. He claimed a woman calling herself an aunt showed up to take the child.
And as I'm finna call my girlfriend and pack his bag at the same time, she says that they already got everything that they need for him, and then she proceeded out the door.
But Metro Police say Rhodes later admitted to hitting Amari numerous times, which caused his death on May 5th, 2 days before that interview, and then hid the child's body. According to the Clark County District Attorney's Office, evidence includes blood on a wall and soiled child's clothing. Detectives say they knew Rhodes was their primary suspect, while Rhodes continued to give his version to 8 News Now.
What's really sickening is that people is making assumptions, thinking that I have something to do with it, that
Piece of shit.
have her manipulated in some way, which that's sickening to me also, because he loves us. We would never do nothing like that to him.
Notice how he looked down when he was saying we would never do something like that to him. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the face of evil. This is the face of evil. This is what your law enforcement is. This is what we uphold when we take that oath and when we raise our right hand and swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and all the laws of our land. That is exactly what we hunt, evil. We hunt evil, and that's our job. Our job is to rid our streets of evil like this. This guy went on national television and said that he had nothing to do with it. Folks, if you are suffering from PTSD, I strongly suggest you tune out right now, because what I'm about to tell you is going to be something that's kind of shocking. He not only killed this boy by beating him with his hands, he disposed of this poor little 2-year-old in a dumpster. After he did his dirty deed on this kid, he put him in a freaking garbage dumpster. By a show of hands here in the chat, who thinks this guy should rot in hell? And I don't care what your religious beliefs is, this guy should burn. This guy should have not one good day. And if there was an electric chair or a firing squad, I'd be the first to fire. I'd be the first to click that switch on for a scumbag like this. He doesn't deserve these. He doesn't deserve the clicks. What he deserves is to burn. Throw him in a cage. God forgive me. Throw him in a cage like those Al-Qaeda guys do and burn him alive. But here in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. And he will get a fair trial. And he will be represented by a defense attorney. Joe Murray is here in the chat. My good friend, Lieutenant Pranzo, and many others from the law enforcement community. And this is our criminal justice system. He will get a fair trial if it goes to trial. And that is what he will get. But when it's all said and done, this man needs to not see the light of day again, not be able to breathe the same air that I breathe and that you breathe. Let me just finish this because it's almost done.
Say Rhodes fought with officers and grabbed an officer's gun when they went to arrest him. He will likely face charges in connection with that incident. The I-Team has learned Rhodes was released from prison last year for robbery and burglary convictions. Brian, back to you.
Okay.
So this guy is a basic piece of garbage, a human piece of garbage. This is a career criminal who had nothing good to contribute to society. Okay, he was out on bail from a robbery charge, as you heard. This is not an upstanding citizen. And you know what? We could point our fingers all we want at the baby's mother. We could point our fingers all we want at the system. But at the end of the day, who is there left to mop up the mess? Vegas PD, the Las Vegas PD. And I tip my cap to the Las Vegas PD for a job well done. They collared this guy in a very quick, short period of time. Search warrants were conducted. Pieces of evidence and blood were removed from the home. Soiled diapers, soiled things. The story around this is that the child soiled himself a few times, urinated a few times. He had a phone call with the baby's mother. I think she went to Colorado to help her ailing mom. There was an argument back and forth between the two of them, probably because he didn't want to look after this kid. And there was an argument back and forth. He was asking her to come home, and since she didn't come home, in a rage, he wound up killing this poor young 2-year-old boy. Again, you know, I strongly feel that we have so much of this going on across our country, across the United States, and you know, Orrin and Orson West, we don't know what the fate is of these two beautiful boys. You know, now almost going to be 5 and 4 years old coming up this year. I believe Orrin or Orson has a birthday coming up in June next month. And, you know, for me, it's just sickening to, I keep going over the scenarios in my head and asking myself, what happened to these boys? And we don't know. And Trezell West, look at this guy. I don't even want to mention his name, but the boyfriend who was arrested and charged with the murder of Amari, a lot of his evasive behaviors, a lot of his evasive techniques that he used to try to throw off law enforcement mimics in some way a little bit of what Trezell exhibited. If you noticed, when there was that press conference, again, this guy had his arms folded. Did anybody catch on to that? He had the arms folded again underneath. He didn't remain folded the whole time, but that was his initial stance, right? Chris Watts, same thing. Same kind of stance. A lot of similarities. I could sit here for an hour just talking about and picking it apart. Natman, good to see you. So I plan to do a full case coverage on the interview. The defensive stance, the evasive eye, the lack of eye contact, the looking away, the looking down. I don't know if any of you noticed, but he actually walked away from the interview and left his girlfriend, left the baby's mother at the initial press conference. He left the presser. He walked off camera and then came back. I don't know if any of you caught on to that, but I certainly did. There were so many irregularities, you know. There were so many bad, you know, guilty signs that this guy was emulating during the course of that conversation that he had with the news. You know, again, I feel strongly about the support. National Law Enforcement Week. National Law Enforcement Week is wrapping up, and we give thanks and praise to our law enforcement professionals. DutyRon up and running, sweet. Yes, Brent, I am here. For those of you who don't know it, I have my 33-year-old African gray parrot, Popeye. He is here with us, hanging out. Right, Popeye? You want to say hello? He is here. I don't want to scare him, but he's hanging out. He's keeping an eye on all the crime stats going on across the United States. So Popeye is here with us. A special thank you to all of my channel members, my Patreon supporters, and all of the people who positively interact on all of my live streams. And again, I don't like to wear out my welcome with you guys. I try to keep my videos to a minimum. I don't like to overload you with a lot of information. This weekend is beautiful. We were out at the beach yesterday, sitting along the water in Point Lookout. My wife, my brother-in-law, and I, we went out and had a great time. And then we went over to a friend's house and sat in the backyard at their outdoor entertainment center. Had a great evening last night. I got in late, so no live streams for me. Usually I do one on a Friday and maybe on a Saturday. But you know, every once in a while you got to take a break from this stuff, you know. And that brings me to my next point. It's important I share with you guys. Thank you, Julia. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Hello, Enlightened One. Gloom all the time because it's not good for our mental health. And that's the reasons why, if you see in some of the sharing that I do, when I share the sunrise and beach broadcasts from Dana Azul Yoga, I'm not really sharing that to like say, hey, I'm into yoga and I'm into that kind of stuff, because that's really not my bag. But I think it's really important that we take a break. And I go and I watch it and I take a little bit of time to zen out and zone out of all of this stuff, because your mental health is what's important. If you don't have that and it's not strong, or if you find yourself getting into trouble where you're going down dark places. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you, Kalita Nubai. Thank you so much for the $4 super sticker. You know, I say this because I care about you guys, you know. I care about you, and this is the reason I share those things. It's no benefit to me to share it other than for our well-being. And I say this because it's important, all right? I wish that I had more, I wish I had more to share with you about Orrin and Orson West. These are the two boys that we all know and love. Rochelle, thank you so much. Self-Care DutyRon. Rochelle Sean sends in a $50 super chat for self-care. Thank you so much, Joe Murray, for the $10 super chat as well. There's my good friend Joe Murray. He is a criminal defense attorney. I am going to have him on to talk about some of these cases that we're covering about these. I'd like to have him come on and talk about the Amari case with me sometime this week. And I know Joe is always willing to come on as a special guest on this show, and he's always welcome here. But again, it's important that we backtrack and take care of our mental health and our physical health. Because if you don't walk or get exercise or do things, and who am I? Look, I'm not 100% physically fit, but I take the time out for myself. I go out and I go around. Sheila, I'm going to Lowe's too. I'm going to Lowe's to pick up some palm trees. So we're going to be buying some palm trees at Lowe's today. So that's where I'm going right after this. So thank you, Sheila, for sharing that with us. Sheila's going to Lowe's in Florida, and I'm going to Lowe's in Long Island, New York. So that's my next plan. I got to shower. I got to do the triple S. I got to shower and shave. So I'm going to be doing that. Thank you, Cassie. I greatly appreciate that. So I wish that there was more for me to report about Orrin and Orson West, but unfortunately there is not. But what I have to say is this. We still have our sign up in Bakersfield, our digital sign that is sponsored by you, the DutyRon family, the DutyRon channel. Jessica Shades, I know I screwed up the name. I'm sorry about that. I'm not good at that. My wife has always told me you suck at pronouncing people's names. Jessica Shades, maybe I got it right, maybe I didn't. She says, thank you for being you, DutyRon. Thank you for the super love. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Again, I have to say that our digital billboard signs in Bakersfield is a tremendous help to this case. It's a tremendous help to any case. If you remember, hey, Glara, good to see you. Justice with Julia, thank you for the Canadian funds, the $5 super sticker. Thank you for that. You heard the family of this small boy. They came out and said, we need a website and we need digital billboards. This is before the boyfriend was arrested. The digital billboards are a tremendous asset to any type of missing person case and investigation. Those who are lucky enough to get those digital billboards or be able to afford them are fortunate, because a lot of these cases, the missing folks don't get a digital billboard. So the digital billboard sponsored by us, the DutyRon family. By the way, I'm wearing my Paul Peck drywall shirt, the Paul Peck drywall shirt. Rita, thank you for the super love. Thank you for the $5 super love. This is Paul Peck Drywall, 170,000 member channel, subscriber channel. He is into all things drywall, so check out Paul Peck Drywall, please. The digital billboards are tremendous, and it's an asset to have folks like you who sponsor these digital billboards, who send PayPal donations to me and super chats. I repurpose all of the super chats for a lot of my cases that I cover. We have $2,000 in a donation for Echo Lloyd, for the missing mother who went missing on Mother's Day last year. We still don't have anything on her. Suzanne Morphew is still, her body is not recovered. We need to get closure and need to bring her home. We have Barry Morphew in custody. Barry Morphew is in custody, folks. So Barry Morphew, the long arm of the law. Popeye is even making noise about the cuffs coming out. Take care, Nancy. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So Barry Morphew's in custody. We need to see Trezell and Jacqueline West. I feel there's going to be double bracelets for them. I feel double bracelets in the boys case. I see double cuffs coming out. I see double cuffs, and I see a speed cuff. I see speed cuff coming out. Remember Joe in the academy and Lieutenant Pranzo? Speed cuff. It was like click, click. It's like one goes this way, one goes this way. So you got to set them up right. So this is the speed cuffing techniques. This is how you set it up. So you go onto one cuff, onto one wrist, and then onto the other. I used to practice this, believe it or not, on my wife. My wife can tell you, I hurt her wrist a couple of times. I practiced the speed cuffing on my rooftop where we were renting an apartment before I became a cop in '91. I used to practice the speed cuffing on her. So this is how you have to have it. You have to have it this way. So, anyways, a little bit of 101 on speed cuffing, ladies and gentlemen. And I practiced on my brother, I practiced on my neighbors, I practiced on my best friends. It was just part of it, you know. I only did it once on her, and it hurt her wrist, and then that was all. It was over. But we were only 26 years old at the time, a lot younger than we are now. Anyways, here's a bit of information that I'm going to get out to you guys because it's already been reported in the news. It's already been put out there. But a little bit of for me, bittersweet, because I felt that this person was doing a really good job of reporting both sides of Orrin and Orson West's case. Bayan Wang from 23 ABC has moved on to bigger and better things. He received a better offer and a better contract from another news station within the state of California, and he is moving on, so he will no longer be on the Orrin and Orson West case. I knew about this a couple of weeks ago. He told me, yeah, fuzzy cuffs, Leanne, that would work. So he told me about this quite a few weeks ago. I knew it. I had to keep it close to the vest because he asked me not to put it out. So Bayan Wang has moved on. I think this weekend was his last weekend. He reported it on his social media. He asked me to keep it quiet, but he's already reported it on his social media. So I knew that he was getting a better deal and a better contract. A lot of these news folks, they move on. You know, most news folks, when they're young like him, they don't stay. It had nothing to do with bad reporting or getting in trouble. Perla, too, moved on to greener pastures and got a better deal and a better offer, perhaps. But I don't know her story as much as I know Bayan Wang's. Because Bayan Wang and I are friends. He calls me and I talk with him back and forth on the cell phone all the time. Cheryl, I'll see you. Have a good service, Sunday service. So yeah, I'll go on. Don't read into that because I'm going to tell you right here. Shay, good morning. Thank you for joining. There's my good friend Shay. I appreciate you. These news reporters, when they're young, like Bayan Wang is a young guy, and so is Perla. Perla's young enough to be my daughter, and Bayan young enough to be my son. These guys move on, and they go on to greener pastures. But I want to tell you something about Bayan Wang. I'm going to tell you a little bit of something about him, and I hope that he sees this. I hope he looks at it. He was really, as much as people dogged him, he really had his heart in this case. I want to tell you what. That was weird. I don't know why that happened. That was weird. All right, I should be back. Let me know in the chat by pressing a 1 if I'm back. Let me know in the chat, number 2, if it's still buffering. Let me know if I'm back by pressing a 1 in the chat. Let me know if we're back. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened. I think the phone started overheating. I'm not even in the sun. Let me make this quick so you guys can understand this. So Bayan Wang said to me, DutyRon, the only regret I have about the case Orrin Orson West is leaving to go to another station. We weren't able to get to the bottom of it. And that's how invested he is in this case. And I feel Perla was the same way. So let me be clear about Bayan Wang. His heart was very into this case. He too has a good soul. He's a good human being. He cares. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Bayan Wang cares about humanity. He cares about reporting the news the best that he can with verifying things that he does and getting the story out. That's part of their job. All right. So I want to tell you that was my takeaway from Bayan Wang. And we're going to be still friends. I'm going to still keep in touch with him. But you know what? He reported on his social media that it was his last weekend, this weekend at 23 ABC. So I feel that I'm okay with letting that out. I saw it on his social media, and I'm telling you, he was a passionate guy. Joe Murray very well said. He was very, very invested in this case. So I really appreciate Bayan Wang's coverage. I'm going to continue to keep in contact with him. He got the class, Mark Class from the Class Kids Foundation. He was instrumental in bringing Mark Class. He also, he did a lot of really good interviews. He interviewed Chief Walker quite a bit, and he did a great job. Okay, that doesn't mean that this case is not going to be continually covered by 23 ABC and KGET. They're going to get new reporters that are going to come on the case. The new reporters are going to come on. So when things are going to be reported, there'll be new people there. Class Kids Foundation, I have my, I have you, the fans, to thank for putting me on to that. And then Bayan Wang got the interview, and then I called Mark after that, and Mark Class was a gentleman. He came on right after he did the interview with Bayan Wang. So a lot of good things came from it, you know. But I'm going to tell you, that was a personal conversation we had, Bayan Wang and I, right up on my deck outside here. I was on the phone with him, and he is that good of a person. I really mean it. I know I'm a very good judge of character, and Bayan Wang is a good man. He's a young, upcoming news reporter, and he really goes out of his way to make sure he gets the story out to you guys. So kudos to Bayan. I wish him well. Everybody please in the chat put a thumbs up or something encouraging for Bayan Wang, because I know he watches my videos, and I know he'll come over here and watch this. I'm going to tell him that I spoke about him in the video. So a little bit of encouragement and kind words for Bayan Wang, and we will wrap it up. We will wrap it up. Thank you so much, Joe Murray. Thank you, Natman. Thank you. It's Bananarama. Gerda. Thank you. Thank you. So again, you know, I wish that we had more positive things to talk about, but let's focus on the arrest of Barry Morphew. Let's focus on Maya Milayete. We are going to see pretty soon, I hope and pray, in her case. I hope and pray, Larry, get a good listen to this, because you're going to hear this. And Popeye's even whistling. Get a good listen to this, Larry. These have your name on it. I think I see something right here. It says Larry. Larry M. Thank you so much. Police off the cuff, Bill Cannon. I know that is Bill Cannon because Mark is cheap. Bill is not that cheap, but Mark is cheap. I know Mark wouldn't send that $10 super chat. So thank you to Police Off the Cuff for the super love. Greatly appreciate that. Look who's up here hanging out with us, guys. It's Popeye, the African Gray. 33 years old, going on 34, and he is chillin' and maxin' with the DutyRon family. So hello to Popeye, and he says thank you for the super love. All right, let me just wrap it up quickly by saying thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, channel members, and all of you guys who please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Like and subscribe. Go over to DutyRon.com and check out all of my DutyRon.com website information. Look for an update from me coming up soon this weekend on these cases, and I will talk to you guys soon. Much love and respect. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, and all victims of crime across America, all victims of crime across the world. Love and respect from my house to yours. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the positive messages and thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below so we can continue this conversation, and I will speak to you soon. Guys, love and respect from DutyRon. Thank you.